So within all these amazing releases, the projects, the videos, came just moments in the scene. You know, we wouldn't have amazing live performances without events that had the live performances. We wouldn't have amazing interviews without the people that I'm sitting next to as well, and you know, curating and all the amazing things. So what I want to kind of just open the floor to now is just a light discussion about how this year went. I got a couple of points to lead to, but in general, we can just have a little discussion about how this year went, to continue from what we answered at the top of the year. So where I want to kick it off is, let's go concerts.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off with our favorite concerts that we have gone to in the year.
There's a few, if that's okay. But Snow Allegra
Okay.
at the Opera House. Not only with like her performance and the band and how incredibly tight they were, but even just the atmosphere. I feel like being in there and like everyone singing along and having those moments where it's just like quiet. But it was her first show here in Australia that she did, like first tour, and yeah, it was just amazing to be able to hear that and hear all the songs I've been hearing for quite some time live. And yeah, love that.
Okay, I am gonna try and keep mine short purely because I think I have a lot more names.
And we'll keep it to, we'll try, seeing as we brought up two, let's keep it to two.
Okay, I didn't say one because I know you're gonna say it.
Damn. Okay. My first one has to be Eve's Tumor.
Okay.
Eve's Tumor was sensational. I went to, they performed at Carriage Works, and it was just one of the best shows I have ever like witnessed in my life. And Eve's has like a very egotistical personality, and it was really fun to kind of witness that live and on stage. And yeah, it was really good. A lot of like soft rock, which I enjoy. The guitarist was amazing, and yeah, they held my hand and only mine, and I have to point that out. Okay, I just have to. No, like there's videos, like video evidence. And then oh god. Okay, my second and last has to be. I'm scared for you because I don't know what it is. Okay, I've decided. Okay, Sampha happened really early on in the year, and he like, I can't even explain how it was. The setup was, first of all, instead of kind of having like, you know, him on just a mic, it was like he had all his band in a circle in the center of the stage, and it was set up like they were just jamming, and you could see it was such a beautiful concept. And yeah, to kind of hear his album Lahai live, gorgeous. He did like different renditions as well, which was gorgeous, and like there was like different points where they would like kind of stand back to back and like start harmonizing or have it be really acoustic. It was just one of the best concerts I have ever been to ever in my life, like top 3. It was gorgeous. Like I had no other word to use. Like it was just gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was heavenly, lovely. Yeah.
I was gonna say Sampho, so words. First one I wanna say is like Kite, just like a local one. At the Opera House with Vivid. Like that was amazing. I don't know. I was so like happy for her. I was happy for myself just to witness her because like I used to listen to her when I was like 16. And then like at the end she like surprises us. She starts tap dancing and like it's just like a beautiful like re-emergence back. Like she's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn. And then this one is like also not someone I really like listen to a lot, but Yusuf Days at the Opera House. Like yeah, I like was familiar with some songs, but not really. So going into it, not really knowing anything, like I was like it was great. And he had Venna there as well, playing the saxophone. It was beautiful. He's like an amazing drummer, and just like the lights, the whole setup. It was like beautiful.
For sure. If I'm choosing an international one, I Wasn't originally going to see this person, but then I do a little bit of this show for Complex called Locals Only, and then Complex was like, yo, you want to go to this Travis Scott show? Shoot some content for us? And I'm like,
yes.
I was driving home from work. I'm like,
I
okay, I was like,
like
all right.
quick reverse, yeah.
So, and just the energy, it was, you know, it's ridiculous. The Travis Scott show is
It's
just
gonna
energy.
be good, yeah.
You see when Fiend drops for the
Oh
fifth
my
time
God,
and
everyone
everyone
goes crazy.
crowd surges. It's like, what is going on right now? So Travis Scott, and if I'm saying a local one, it was Friday at Phoenix National, at Phoenix in like March, I think it was. Yeah, kind of similar to the seated on the floor type situation. Very jammy, very like personal.
Yeah.
But it was an honor to see. I've seen multiple Friday sets before, but seeing it in that context was amazing. It was so amazing. And then speaking of shows, I kind of want to transition that into conversations about, you know, festivals, more general, like, oh, what's the best word? Things that surrounded the shows or brought the shows. And I think the biggest one that we're going to bring up is South by Southwest. So they had their second one this year. And yeah, we got some thoughts. Unfortunately, we have some thoughts and some sighs. I think, to kick it off, I think South by Southwest last year was fun. It was a
Agreed.
fun introduction.
Didn't go to that one, so I don't have the go.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the pass, but you know, there were definitely moments where I was like, ooh, this lineup looks super cool. Or this
Right.
moment, again, a story I love to say is that I went to a DJ set show. I think it was Munisib, Solly, Scruffs, and I'm blanking on I think it was Naz.
See,
Nasty Girl.
That's a great lineup.
Oh,
Yeah.
ridiculous
That's
lineup.
Yeah, that is.
And, you know, I think it started a little quiet, probably because there was another gigs.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and at the bar was Pania, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Literally 10 minutes later, the whole scene had flooded in there,
Wow.
and Chance the Rapper was there at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh wait, that's
wait, what?
Yeah.
So, the first South by Southwest had moments like that where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you know, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was like, yo, but there were banger
But there were
moments.
like pockets of, I guess, as you said, moments where it was like, holy crap, like this is really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I yeah, same thing. I had passes last year and this year. Sorry. And last year was the first one, as we've said, and it set the tone. And it kind of, once again, it wasn't perfect, but it was really good. It was really enjoyable, and we could find those pockets of like really good fun vibes. And yeah, the lineup was great. And I feel like the artists they had locally, nationally, and even internationally
Yeah.
were spot on. And they
Yeah.
were like, it was
Yeah.
executed quite well, which made me enjoy it. So coming up this year, I was ready. I was excited, and then I was pretty disappointed, unfortunately. And for me, it wasn't more so the lineup, but it just felt lazy.
It did.
It
It felt
felt
like
very
very like,
lazy.
oh, that happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And we just kind of moved on with our
and we
lives.
Yeah.
moved on. It felt very lazy. It felt very rushed, and even like it was unprofessional. Sorry, I got a lot to say. Because I'll give an example. And I wanted to go see this artist. I had the time down. I was ready to go. We got there 10 minutes before. And they had changed the time an hour early without notifying anybody. And it's like moments like that happened throughout this year's South by Southwest where I was like, wasn't conducted well. I just wasn't into it. It was fun, but overall, I didn't go to a lot of stuff because I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy it. So
Yeah, and even connecting with that, like with the last minute timings and
yeah,
everything, I think that affected as well, like, because I'd be like, oh, I want to see this person perform, but they're performing at the same time,
yeah.
and like they're at a different, like, granted it's great that they use different locations, different location but different venues, but I think it just made it hard and a little less enjoyable that way. But I was still so excited to see the people that I got to see.
Yeah,
like, the talent
heavy on
was
that.
yeah.
heavy on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually never been, so
Oh.
I'm coming from an outside perspective. I guess I heard a lot of things for this year's one. Like you were saying, the time changes. Like, not only does that affect the people that are coming, but also the artists.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crucial for them to reach audience, and for that to happen, like, it just messes it up for everyone. And then I guess like another thing is just like accessibility as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big reason why I haven't been. And then also that translates to the artists, and like I've like had these conversations as well. Like, a lot of the time, I mean, it has only been 2 years, but they're kind of reaching an audience that they've already reached. Like, there's no new people to bring in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess it's good, but
It could have
the
been
exposure.
Yeah, it just shows that I think they need to use Tumbalong Park maybe a bit more.
They do.
Because that was like the central place where people from the community that
We're
probably
going.
don't know.
And it's literally, it brings in what you said with the accessibility issue. Like, I obviously understand it's a very big thing, but for music respectively, that price is crazy. And Tumbalong Park was the only like free venue. And it opened up for a lot more people to come, which I enjoyed for the community. So
No, for sure. I guess as a final point on that, South by, like, that first year.
That was banging.
It was
Like,
fire.
it's good.
It was
I
fun.
remember heading to the after party for that actually. So you're
That
right,
one, that
was-
same one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was such a fun. It was such a fun night.
Yeah.
And it's moments like that. It's remember when Chance shouted out Inkabee at the thing. It was we need year 3 next year.
I hope.
Let's get back to the let's get back to that year one for sure.
And also,
And
I wanna say for this year's, I wanna shout out, and I'm not being biased in any way, but the FBI.
I mean, you got it. Shout out to people.
FBI
100%.
South by Southwest party that ate up for me. I think that was the one party
It was,
that
I really
really
enjoyed that.
did well, and a bigger shout out to Devorah once
Yeah.
again
For sure.
because she closed that
She did,
out.
yeah.
It was great, so happy with that.
Agree. As a final quick one in regards to overall shows or festivals that you guys might have gone to or enjoyed, is there any that stands out to you?
Yesterday I went to Boiler Room.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That
that's
was
it.
great. And I actually, it was good. It was great. But the only good standout part for me was the House of Silky stage. Shout out House of Silky. Shout out the whole Sydney ballroom culture. It was really good to have a space within a predominantly white space that was made for people of color, black people, trans people, queer people. It was nice to have that. It was good to shake ass. So yeah, loved that. But that's kind of, because it's fresh in my mind, that's all I remember.
The only one I went to was Promising, and that was my first ever festival. I'm not really a festival person.
Same.
Just the being around people for that.
I'm
It's
like,
the
outside,
outside,
yeah.
It was cool. Like, the artists that I liked, it was alright, but
Would you go again next year?
I don't know. It would really just depend on the lineup.
lineup.
Like,
Sure.
that would have to make
Yeah.
it worth it, because there were so
Yeah.
many moments where I was just like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
like this would have been the year that I went, but I went to a different thing, which was like hard style. I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, I went to something else. But I really wanted to go. Why to Gold Coast? I don't know.
I mean, look, half the artists that
Make it make
they
sense.
dropped out anyways.
Because
They
if you had to go to
always
Sydney,
drop
maybe none of them would have gone anywhere. But
Yeah, no one going to Brisbane.
that's
That's a whole thing.
It's a whole nother
Anyway, what we also had this year to keep it pushing is award show results. So we've had a number of award shows, including the ARIAs who happened recently. We also had the SMAC Awards by FBI Radio. I'm sure there are other award shows right now, but we are city-centric, so
Yes.
that is who we are discussing. So if there are any other award shows that stand out, let us know who we missed, who you agreed with, who you disagreed with. But yeah, let's start with the SMAC Awards, seeing as you brought up FBI.
Hey.
Iffy, as the host of that evening of the SMAC Awards, congratulations. How do you feel like SMAC Awards went this year?
Okay, I'm comparing it to, okay, there's actually lots to touch on. Before we even get into the nominees, the winners, and the categories, I'm just going overall, and I base it to last year's, which I just attended, and it was a step up. 110%. The venue was better. It was way more professional, which I liked, and it felt like you were going to like a. It is a real award show, but like like a big scale award show, which I really enjoyed. And like shout out the DJ, shout out Atu, love you queen. It was fun, it was good. In terms of categories and the nominees.
She's trying not to get fired. She's gonna wake up the day after this drops and says,
Like, so we'd like to book
No, you're done, get out. No, I was really happy with the winners, but my only thing is, and FBI, take this into consideration, babe. I feel like with the nominees, it was very, como se dice, like, you could tell, how do I put this? It was...
I feel like, just in case this helps you,
Yes.
this kind of goes into our not like us discussion. It's kind of like, you know, obviously we are championing some of the most independent, you know, some of the most interesting releases, and more power to everyone who was nominated. But I feel like there is still, like, you're going too far the other way.
Yes, that's what thank you for putting it like that.
Yeah.
I feel like there were so many more local artists that deserved their flowers, that didn't get that chance because, you know, FBI as a whole, and yes, I'm part of FBI, like, we need to remember this, kind of, went too left. Too niche. But it's funny because I know all those artists, but I still felt like they could have been even just more nominees.
Yeah.
I feel like even just adding a bit more nominees to the list, like, would make
categories more specific.
Make categories like best hip hop, best R&B. I feel like that could have definitely been done.
For sure.
Yeah. It is what it is, though.
For sure. I'm not sure if you guys paid much attention to how the SMAC Awards went. If you have any comments on,
I mean, I think looking at nominees, that pretty much wraps up my thought process as well.
And kind of also in regards to categories and transitioning into the arias, one of the things, shout out to the arias firstly, again, platforming Australian artists. You do need to get rid of that international artists category though, because Taylor Swift is not there.
That's Taylor Swift in his house, in my house.
You know what?
Thank you.
So I think that category is redundant. We don't need
get rid of
it.
it.
Drake doesn't care. Taylor Swift doesn't care.
Like, let's add a different category.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Anything.
Yes. So shout out to all the efforts done for Australian artists. That's beautiful, amazing. But we don't need the international.
We don't need it.
Anyway, keeping it moving. There is shout out to the people who won at the arias. There was some Royal Otis. You know, we got some amazing performers. That's your gasp. I'm just kind of just naming people. I didn't know. I haven't listened to that's my Triple J in me coming out.
Okay.
Naming Royal
Fair.
Lotus. It was literally the first person that came to my head. I am upset that Becca Hatch didn't win.
Very upset.
To bring in something that was snubbed. And I'm upset that the Kid Laroi didn't win for hip hop act, hip hop artist of the year, hip hop project or release of the year. 3% won. Shout out to 3%. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of that project.
I agree.
And I think that the Kid Laroi had, again, one hell of a year. Obviously, he is one of the biggest artists in the world. So I guess you can take it with a bit of a grain of salt in regards to the international. But at the end of the day, he is from here.
Exactly.
And, like, championing that release is amazing. Personally, I wanted Kobe D to win, as previously mentioned.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad. I am very happy that he got nominated for that in regard. But my other critique is that can we please stop grouping songs and projects as a comparison?
Yeah.
Well, you can't compare songs and projects. You can compare projects to projects, and you compare songs to songs.
Yeah.
There are
Thank
rules.
you.
Don't-
Yeah.
Plus twos on plus twos,
Yeah.
plus fours on plus fours. Debate with your mama. I don't know. I heard that like 2 days ago. I'm like, obviously.
Oh, that's good.
Compare projects with projects, compare songs with songs.
No,
You can't
agree.
compare a 1/4 song to a body of work by Kobe D.
Agree.
Kid
Agree.
Leroy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
context.
Yeah.
It's,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, that's always frustrated me, but I'm happy. I think do you guys remember who won R&B projects? If someone wants to quickly, because I was happy.
Oh, TK Mizer.
Yes,
Oh.
I was very happy with that.
that's-
As
I think for
a
that
winner.
whole category, like, cause I'll be real, I don't typically pay too much attention to the artists.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Looking at that category and
Yeah.
seeing so many familiar
Yeah.
names,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I
For sure.
yeah, listen. So Milan Ring with Mangoes was on it.
Mhm.
Miss Kinina with Black Britney. Panya
Yeah.
with We Still Young, and then
Oh.
Forest Claudette with Jupiter.
Yeah.
I literally would have either TK Mizer or Milan Ring.
Yeah.
And I got what I wanted, so I'm not
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
sure.
mad.
For sure.
Mm.
I wasn't upset at the
Yeah.
arias this year, the picks. I'm just again. I'm glad. Okay. No, in the categories that I cared about.
Okay.
In the categories
okay.
that I cared about, I was, for the most part, I mean, I guess it was 50-50. Because,
Yeah.
again, I wish that Kid Leroy won. But, still shout out to everyone nominated.
Yeah.
Again, it's not I'm definitely not hating. I'm always keen to hear what 3%'s got coming out next. Just that project, unfortunately, wasn't for me. But let me know
Yeah.
what you think. Are you here for this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope that they do change that. And I'm just happy that, again, that they're being a lot more self-aware with who they nominate in comparison to the year when Vanessa Amorosi was nominated and then Illy came up with the t-shirt with Chanel Lebrand and Bernardo and everyone on that t-shirt. So definitely a moment that was like let's pay
Wake
attention
up
to who
call,
we
yeah.
nominate. So
Yeah.
nominations, not mad at all.
I'm not mad, but I realized how, and I feel like maybe this goes for all of us.
Yep.
Yeah, like literally what you said. I don't pay attention to arias,
Yeah.
and looking at the nominations, I was like, who the fuck are these people? And it's funny because some of them, or like the bands or the artists, are some of the most mainstream in Australia, and it just made me realize I'm proud of myself because I'm sticking to the locals. I'm sticking to the people that haven't really not gone up, but like that are still yet to get up
Yeah.
there. I'm waiting for Devora to be on Arias
Honestly.
Yes.
next year,
Yes.
and it will be happening.
Yes.
It will be
Yes.
happening.
Yeah.
I think they invited
But
her to
yeah.
an event. But
Yeah, like hello. But yeah, I feel like at the same time, like I can't say anything because it's the Arias. Like it's
It's
bigger
such a
than
big-
me.
yeah.
It's bigger than
No,
me.
for sure.
It's bigger than me. So.
For sure. So we'll definitely see what's the deal next year
Mhm.
with the Arias. As we go to our final couple things to discuss, let's get a little more personal and let's talk about some of our favorite interviews or pieces of content that we did this year. Again, let's try and limit it to 2.
I hate you. I hate you so much, Rue. Continue.
That's all right. Catch that B4 2025. I'll kick it off with an interview that I did with Forest Claudette. That was, it was so fun. I was so nervous to meet them, to interview them, knowing what they've brought to the scene so far. They literally just came off an ARIA win with a song with Earth Gang.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's like hello.
and
Yeah.
again, I guess it shows like I'm thankful and grateful for that my show is now being considered by these major labels. Shout out to Jesse who is films that show as well. Rue's Room if you are I don't know. But yeah, my interview with Forest Claudette was just such a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Just a fun little like bro out.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were just the best. I walked out of there like that was the most fun conversation
Yeah.
I've had.
It's always nice when you really connect with the person you're talking to. It's like, yeah, that was good.
For sure. And as another thing, again, shout out to Complex. They hit me up about doing this show called Locals Only. It's pretty much just a curation of the releases during a month's period of time. I've done 4 as of this moment when this is out, or that as we're recording, shall I say. And yeah, just being able to take my Culture Black Kid playlist and being like, all right, let me pick, like really pick who I think is the standouts. has been so fun. And being able to do it on a platform like Complex, who, you know, I used to watch Everyday Struggle. I know about, you know, the sneaker shopping, and, you know, even shows like Hot Ones, which is just an fun interview show with chicken wings. It's like, but, you know, yeah, the fact that I've been able to work with Complex has been an absolute honor. So yeah, those are 2 pieces of content. And you know, also being part of the Converse All Stars.
Oh,
you know,
period.
Dr. You know, but I'll let you guys also.
Go and buy Converse. oh my god.
But yeah, I'm leaving the floor open to interviews, content.
You go next one.
Okay, I would say like with Acclaim magazine, interviewing Chanel Lauren. Just like it was just before the release of her EP, Between Two Worlds. I knew her, and it was just a good conversation.
Yeah.
Like she provided so much insight. Like I felt like she was answering the questions with such depth, and I think I learned so much like about her and just that project as well. And then like I haven't interviewed so many people, but like my first like big international interview also with Acclaim magazine was Khalid, which was like in person as well, so that was nerve-wracking, but he's like a really sweet person, like really down to earth, and same thing, just like really good convo, a lot of good insight into like where his mind had been at, and like where it was at that time. So yeah,
for sure.
Love. For me, I actually have two now, but 2024 was like the year of interviews for me. I've never been busy like this.
Yeah, man, some of the interviews that Evie did, and he might get into it, but I was looking at my timeline and like.
Thank you, FBI Radio. I love you so much. But I have one small local artist first, who is Annabelle Scobie. And she was FBI's Independent Artist of the Week way early in the year. And that interview sat with me so much and so well, because she's so human. And like, there's no other way to put it. She's so human and so well spoken. And also gave me so much insight onto her music and onto her life. And, you know, it was supposed to be a short interview, but it took up the whole hour. And I did not want to start talking to her. And it made me a genuine big fan of her and her music. And yeah, I really want to give her a special, genuine shout out, because she's still growing, and she deserves her flowers. Like, she really does. Her music is insane, really good. So that's my first. My second one. My second one is Smino.
Not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Doechii.
I interviewed Doechii. I wanted to say it, but... Thank you.
That's amazing.
But Smino, that one, oh my god, I don't know. There are no words for our interview. It was in person, so I was shaking, I was scared, but it was great. And once again, he's just really funny, and we connected really well, and he complimented me. I was like, okay. But yeah, it was a really good insight to his not latest now at the time, latest album and his upcoming show here in Sydney. And yeah, great interview. Loved his energy, loved his vibe, and he gave me he took it, sorry, I was not getting into it. And yeah, really good. And I'm interviewing Lancey next week, so wanna
look at you.
As of when we're recording.
Yeah, that'll be out.
It'll be out.
I just wanted to say that. Okay. Angelique.
Well, I only got into interviews like this year, but yeah. So the one that I did was Mason Dane for 614 magazine. 614, Australian-based magazine, which is really good. I love it because they focus so much on the Australian talent that we have here.
So the music was getting me.
But they're they focus on the Australian talent we have here, and they highlight it in the magazine, which is why it's 614 to the world. Like, that's what it's trying to get at. So yeah, interviewing Mason was great. Like, just gaining insight a little bit about how he started and like what he's trying to do, and he's worked with some really like impressive like people as well. So
like T-Pain.
exactly, T-Pain, the Homies as well. He did a track with them. But yeah, just like hearing that, and also hearing, I guess, where he's come now from, like, he even said, I used to like just copy what Travis Scott did, but now I've gotten to a place where I'm actually like writing songs about my life or things that are happening or things happening around me. So I'm just like, just seeing that development, but talking to him was great. I love that. And second thing for me would be one of my content like series that I've been trying to do, which is like Australian artists that you should know. So just really trying to get people on, the music that we have here, because a lot of the time I would travel and like to places like America, they're like, I could not tell you about any Australian artists. I'm like, that needs to change.
It needs to change. It's so sad.
It is sad.
It's so annoying. Yeah. And can I just say, you put me onto some artists, so thank you for that.
No problem.
No, for sure. Well, I guess this transitions into some predictions and some, maybe a goal or two for next year. So I guess keeping it on the interview theme real quick, just one interview or content goal for next year. Okay, I'll kick it off.
Yeah,
I'll kick it off.
Like, I'm actually lost.
My goal is to do Rouge Room, but on a bigger scale, and hopefully get some huge international artists in the line of a Doechii, a Tyler the Creator. That would be huge. Again, Converse All Stars. The hookup. We'll talk. Let's discuss off chat. So yeah, definitely taking Rouge Room to another level, and also just building my brand a bit bigger, producing, helping other people in the scene. Again, discussions that I feel like is going to happen across this table. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, that's one of my goals.
Okay, I now have an idea. Thank you. But in coming with music journalism and being a host, I also want to curate shows, like small little live shows. I want to curate them, and I have fun ideas that I want to do. And I want to what I want to see in, Sydney is a spotlight on niche musicians and bands, and I want to mesh every world, because one thing about Sydney's music scene is that it's cliquey. Let's keep it real.
Yeah,
it is cliquey, point blank period. Yeah. I want to separate those barriers. I want to bring everybody together. 2025, watch out, babes. Converse, we'll speak. We'll speak. Yeah.
I feel like I have so many ideas, but yeah, definitely with Converse as well, guys. Definitely, yeah, just like interviewing artists, Australian artists as well, like more specifically, like, but for my own platform, for myself, and just like being consistent. Yeah, that's my major thing, because it's like I've done some things here and there, and I've like received feedback, but it's like I'm not putting out enough. So yeah, definitely that. It's like my major goal.
Definitely, I agree with the being consistent, and I think that also connects with also not being afraid to ask for help as well sometimes, because like I know a lot of us, we do our content by ourselves, but knowing that we even have each other in this, that we can reach out, ask for help as well. But yeah, no, that staying consistent, and also this is like one of my big goals as well, is like I want to start like a series where, because one of the big thing for me is mental health, and so sitting down with the local artists and getting a little bit more vulnerable, and a little bit more in tune, because like, for example, if I can mention someone that I know does this quite well, is Blessed. He's very open with being vulnerable, and like showing even ways like how to deal with certain things. So because there's young people that are trying to get to where a lot of these artists are now, and like I think having
like people killing themselves over it.
To see it's a journey for everyone. But yeah, so
amazing.
I love that. I actually really do. I really do.
For sure. And as a final thing before we get out of here, let's get into some anticipations for MVPs for next year. So we mentioned our current MVPs, you know, across the board, Devora, 3 Solis and an MJ Soul for producer. So going down the line, who is your 2025 MVP anticipation?
One person, no honorable.
One person.
Okay.
No honorables.
Mine is someone named SJ. I think he's from Melbourne.
Yeah, runs with
literally-
Pickler.
Yeah,
Nice.
debut single released like so recently, but yeah, that's definitely on my anticipations for next year.
Yeah.
My artist anticipation is Miles number 2.
Mm.
I enjoy his stuff. I had a chat with him as well, and I feel like he is an underdog where he actually creates really good like shit. Like his pieces are great, but he's underrated. But he's like, the thing is, he's secretly growing, and I feel like next year would be his year.
Yeah.
He was also someone that was added to the Laneway lineup,
Yeah.
and I see that kind of projecting him more. So I see a big thing soon for him. Shout out Miles.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a wish, but I miss Ashley. So I'm hoping that, well, I'm not trying to put too much on her, but like, you know, that next year that we'll be able to hear more from her, and because just miss her.
No, and valid.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And my MVP artist anticipation for this year, she's gonna run it back. It's Devora. I think this year was such a strong setup. As much as what she did this year was ridiculous, but I feel like it's just the beginning.
I
It's
agree.
ridiculous to feel like it's just the
I
beginning.
agree,
Yeah.
but it's Devora. Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
So
yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
Devora, I'm hoping that you run it back in 2025. We are very, very,
Please,
very excited.
Mama, please.
So yeah, and let's get into our producer.
Oh, I'm
As
excited.
our final thing, our producer MVP anticipations for 2025.
Okay, Angelique, you wanna go first?
Yeah.
I guess because it connects to Devora.
If you say law,
No,
Okay.
I was actually gonna say Jane.
really?
Because they work together
Yeah.
a lot.
Mhm.
So I want to see what he will continue to do with the other artists as well, and I think he can get there. So yeah, that's one of my. But
Okay.
The thing is, mine isn't even law.
Oh, okay.
So no. Sorry, I like you mentioned.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Law.
Shout
Shout
out.
out Laura Sound. We love. But he was someone that was in my brain, and it's not MJ anymore. Once again, shout out MJ Soul. But there is someone that this is also kind of like, I need this to happen. It's a producer called Issa Tajima, and he only has like 3-4 songs, but he's insane. He does a lot of jazz stuff, hip hop. He worked with Zion recently for youth, and it's sick. But even before Zion, I was put on from the first song.
For sure.
He's great, and I just need more spotlight on him. So yeah.
Okay.
Mine is, I think I found this producer from like the All Stars
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
His name is Swimgood, and
Yeah.
he released like I think just 2 singles this
Yeah.
year, but I like enjoyed them so much.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm like, I definitely want to hear more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And mine was Taz MVP for this year. It's MJ. I think that if MJ takes what he has done this year and again expands,
Yeah.
broadens.
broaden
Oh yeah.
his horizons,
He's gonna
He is.
eat.
Yo.
He's on top. Like he's on top.
for sure. And MJ could very easily make it his year. Again, just the way he has just popped out in the scene. He seems so unassuming, and yet he cooks fire, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I think once we start to expand the people who he works with, as well as the level and the breadth that he works with, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's taken over.
100%.
But yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end. Thank you guys for such an amazing conversation. Some discourse,
Me.
some discourse.
Okay.
I feel like we agreed.
Yeah.
Way more. I
We
thought
did.
way more than
That's
I
why he
thought.
said some.
Yes.
Just a little.
No, No, it came with boxing gloves in her.
I know.
Yeah.
Ting, ting.
Oh my goodness. But yes, a made for amazing discussion, the agreements, the disagreements, and shout out to everyone and everyone who we picked and everyone who wasn't on our list. Trust, if we could be here just naming,
Dude.
we would.
No, you need to see the notes up. There's names.
Make it strong. Make it strong. So, shout out to everyone who released music this year. Again, we love what you bring to the scene. We love that you put on live performances. Make sure you go support live music because it is sorely needed in this scene. But as we close off, just gonna go down the line again. Please reintroduce yourself, where people can find you at, and yeah.
My name is Angelique, and you can find me on Instagram as AngeSonique, and then TikTok is just Angelique.
I am Ifi. Oh, I'm a former Obiebu. Thank you very much. AKA Ifi Obiebu. I am a radio host for FBI. Listen to my show, Up For It, every weekday, 7 to 10. And you can find me on Instagram as FatRishBish, PhatRishBish. Thank you very much.
I'm Tashawn, and you can find me on Tar Odyssey on TikTok and Tashawn on Instagram, and you will be seeing more of me next year. For sure. And I am Root, aka the Culture Black Kid, at the Culture Black Kid Official. Make sure you go check me out on Triple J Late Nights, Complex, Locals Only, and just popping up on your Instagram feed randomly with reviews and all that stuff. So much in the bank for 2025. Very, very, very excited about it. Once again, shout out to Little Lagos for giving us a space to shoot. Shout out to Converse for the drip. And yeah, we'll catch you next year.
Yes!
Peace.